Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. We'll begin in about a minute or two here. Just going to give people a chance to join. And if you have joined early and on time, if you could just type in the chat whether or not you can hear me and see me, that would be great. Again, we'll start in about 30 seconds or so. See people piling in right now. Hey, Fred, good morning. Welcome. Morning. Thanks, Deanne. Glad everyone can hear me. All right, we're just going to give another minute here, and we'll begin with today's session. All right. Looks like we got quite a few people that have joined. All right, we'll just give it another 10, 15 seconds and we'll begin. So today's topic, really excited. I'm actually, it's always fun for me, is, our product team builds a lot of amazing things and they've done a lot on Top Producer X. I get the privilege and the honor and get to share it with you guys live on Facebook. So today, I'm going to actually share with you some upcoming changes to Top Producer X. So these changes are not live yet. These are changes that are coming and they're pretty drastic. So you guys are getting a sneak peek today at some of the upcoming changes to Top Producer X. So that's what today's session is. So just a couple of things before we begin. One is these sessions are, the best is when you guys are engaging. So please feel free to ask questions, comment in the chat. I do try to answer every question as we go through these. At the same time, look, I've got prepared content at the end. After I go through the prepared content, I always will open it up for question and answer where you guys can ask me anything related to Top Producer. So again, really excited today. And let's get started. Howdy, everyone. Hey, Tom. Hey, Jana, Fred, Letitia, Warren, all you guys. It's great to see you. So let's begin. So first thing is, I just want to kind of go back one step and remind you of the changes that came last month. So the first one is we did a bunch of changes related to tasks and the ability to actually filter those tasks by completion and search date. And I'll actually go through and show you these changes. So if you're like, what do you mean, Keith? What do all these things mean? I'll go and show you these changes. The other one is customer care is now available via chat in Top Producer X. So I'm going to show you that as well. And then also you can now access all your invoices, update your credit card, etc. Through your realtor.com professional dashboard. So those were some changes last month, but that's not what you're here for. You're here to see what's coming, what's new. So first one, I think if you guys have been attending these for any frequency, I've brought mention to this many times in the past, which is we are actively working on integrating our Market Snapshot report solution into the Top Producer X CRM. So today you have two different dashboards. You have you have your Top Producer CRM, and then you have this dashboard that controls Market Snapshot. We are moving away from having a separate dashboard for Market Snapshot where it's all going to be integrated into your Top Producer X. And so I'm actually going to show you the progress that we've made in that area. A couple of other big enhancements that are coming, which I'm going to, again, I will show this live, is the ability to search for a contact on any screen and sort from any scroll position. So this is something that you guys have been asking us for. Another one is the ability to basically send an email, text, snapshot from any screen. So today in Top Producer X, you have to be in a contact to do these things. Moving forward, you'll not have to be in a contact. You can start that process from anywhere inside the product. So I'm going to show you that as well. And on top of being able to communicate, you're able to create a note and a task from any screen as well. And then the one thing, and I hope you guys will really appreciate this, we've made some changes to the contrast inside of Top Producer X. So that feedback button inside the product has been nothing but valuable. And the one thing that we've heard from you guys is it'd be great if there was a little bit more contrast inside of TPX. It's really white and there's not a lot of separation in between the different aspects and elements inside the product. So look, I'm going to get out of the deck and actually just show you live. So I think that's what you guys are here for is, hey, Keith, show us. So Give me a minute and I'm going to load this up. All right. So what I'm showing you today, I just want to be clear. This is on our dev environment. So this is not on your live production environment yet. You do not, these changes have not been rolled out yet. So the first thing you're going to notice when you're looking at Top Producer X, my Top Producer X, is a couple of things. The first one is the contrast. You can see that there's a lot more contrast separating the different elements inside of the product. So you'll see a lot more grays, a lot more bolder buttons, things like that, where we just really are calling out different elements inside the product. So this has been something that you guys have been, the feedback we've gotten from our customers is, hey, it would be great if there's a little bit more contrast. So the first thing we had to do was add that contrast. One thing I want to call out here is, and I mentioned it earlier, we did add this about a month ago, where you can chat live with one of our support reps. So if you are inside the product, you have a question, not sure how to set up something, you can actually chat live with one of our support reps. And I'm fortunate enough that the support agent that I got just now is Caitlin. She's amazing. You guys can integrate, again, if you have questions, just type in chat. We have a team that monitors this live throughout the day. So they're really quick and super helpful. Another change that's coming is when you scroll now inside the product, basically the headers of that area of the product now remain. So you'll be able, instead of the headers being disappearing, they now remain. So when you're scrolling through the product, you'll know exactly what each column means in there. Another change is the search bar is now available on every screen. So prior to this release, it was not available on every screen. It is now, so you can search from anywhere in the product instead of having to go back to your main screen to do so. So those are a couple of key changes here. This is just the beginning, though. I got a whole lot more to show you. The next one, which I'm really excited about, as I mentioned earlier, is in your Top Producer X today. Everything has to start from a contact. So if you want to send an email, send a text, send a snapshot, you have to go to your contact and then initiate kind of that flow from within a contact. What we've done is we've actually added this little wheel here where you can actually do anything right from here, from anywhere in the product. So I can quickly add a note. So if I hit add note, it pops up. I can say, oh, spoke with Bob, looking to sell next spring. I'm just gonna use this as an example. Then I can attach it to a contact. Hopefully I have a contact in my database named Bob. Maybe I don't, but we'll just say, oh yeah, there we go, Bob. Look at that, just by chance. And I can hit save. And now I've quickly added a note to Bob's contact. So the difference is I initiated that flow from basically anywhere in the product. So I didn't have to go into Bob's contact. I just did it from my dashboard. And that goes the same thing with email. So I can start an email. I can hit compose. I can type in who I'm sending it to. So Bob, I'm going to send Bob a quick follow-up. I can pick from one of my, real easy templates. All right. And then that will fill in. So again, the big change is now you're able to do these things from anywhere in the product. You do not have to be inside of that contact. You can attach the contact through that flow. So this wheel here is available on every screen. You can add a note, you can email, you can text, you can add a task, and you can send a snapshot from anywhere in the product. So this is, again, part of just simplifying it and less clicks for you. So if you want to send someone a quick email, you can just start from that flow. Or again, if you don't, you can quickly go to a contact record and initiate that. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about that's coming soon to a top producer near you is the Market Snapshot integration. So we've talked about this many times over the last couple of weeks, and it's something that we're really excited about, which is bringing Market Snapshot completely into a single experience for you. So before we go into Market Snapshot, though, I want to also just say that there's some changes coming to the contact record. So one of the areas that you guys have given us feedback on is that the note field, it was too hard to see. You had to scroll too much to see notes. So we've tried to really clean up the contact experience where we can show more information. We also introduced something called the dashboard in here for a contact, where you'll be able to see kind of more summary in one view. So all the same features are here. So you'll be able to look at past emails, just like you are today. It's all just done in a separate kind of thing you'll be able to look at. But the one thing I want to highlight is Market Snapshot reports. As I've mentioned, we are in the process of migrating Market Snapshot into Top Producer, where you have a single place to access, send, review all of your market snapshots instead of having to go to a separate experience. And the next update to Top Producer X will have a lot of progress made in that area. And the big one is that all your reports will be available to you. So any reports that you sent to your client are going to be available under the contacts record. I can click on that report. I'll be able to see all the information related to whatever the criteria is. Have they opened it? Did they click on it? Did they inquire? How many times have they looked at it? Are they getting listing alerts, price changes, just sold? All that stuff is now accessible in Top Producer X, and or will be. Let me be clear. This is not live yet, but coming soon. And so instead of having to find all this information in another dashboard, it's now going to be contained in here. And basically, once this goes through, you'll be able to 100% interact, control your Market Snapshot product right through Top Producer now. So you'll no longer have to go to a separate place. I'm really excited about this. It makes everything so much simpler and seamless for you guys on the in the end user. All right, I'm just going to review my list here, make sure I got them all. Give me 1 minute here. I think I got them all. We talked about color changes. We talked about the ability to, yeah, so I think I covered all the core ones that are in there. I'm just going to bring up another contact here. Oops. Maybe I won't be. And again, on the dashboard, I just want to bring it, that's something new, as well as the introduction of a contact dashboard. And again, it's going to show, it's where you're going to find all your things like your social media integration, your coffee talk, your notes, important dates, upcoming activities, all that stuff. So what I'm going to do here is pause and open it up for questions and feedback from you guys. So again, if you have a question, you can just type it into the chat. And I'd love one for you guys to ask questions too. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the changes that are coming. So Debbie asks, why would you use Market Snapshot over setting up the client with MLS auto alerts? That's a great question. So a couple of things. The first one is, I'm just going to open up a Market Snapshot first off. So let's all make sure we're talking about Market Snapshot here. So the first thing is MLS auto alerts is if I'm, auto alerting a client of something new, recent on the market. It could be a listing that matches my buying criteria. And where Market Snapshot kind of works for auto alerts to work, I have to be somewhat active in the marketplace. Where the value of Market Snapshot comes in is it works for all clients in all spectrums of their life cycle. So what Market Snapshot tells somebody is what the market's doing, right? It really educates them and informs them and gives them insights into how is the market, either in the area I'm interested in buying in or the area I live in and am I a homeowner in, right? If you look at the economy today and the whole COVID-19 pandemic, there's so much uncertainty around, the impacts to real estate. And so, how are you keeping your customers informed on what's going on? And that's what Market Snapshot does for you, right? It's going to give your clients insights into everything that's going on that's relevant to them, related to the real estate market, right? Because if they're a homeowner, it's built around their neighborhood, right? So this one is built around, this is a homeowner one, right? So there's their house right here on a map. Then I can see all the recent actives and solds around there. The next reason, so Debbie, to follow the question, the other thing too, the open rate and engagement with Market Snapshot is extremely high. So once you set somebody up with Market Snapshot, this goes out on whatever frequency you set, automatically without you having to do anything. And people engage with it at a super high rate. I think, you know, somewhere around our open rates around 30%ish. Don't hold me to that. It's around that area though. I can't remember the exact stat of what the most recent engagement stats were. So Debbie, that's why you would use Market Snapshot on there. So Greg asked, how do you make it subdivision specific? So when you're creating a market snapshot, so I'm just gonna pull up a contact here. Hopefully I can make this work. I'm on a dev site, so sometimes dev sites don't behave. So the first off, if you just put an address in, it will use that address in that neighborhood to build the report. So if you're doing a homeowner one, you can also do a buyer one based on an address. But depending on your MLS fields, you'll be able to open up the advanced. And there should be, and don't hold me to it, Greg. Right, don't hold me to it, but there might be a neighborhood. Yeah, so in this MLS, the specific one, there's a subdivision one. So I can just pick the subdivision, Greg. So I hope that helps. So it's really, I just want to be clear, the fields that are available to you are going to differ from MLSs. So I don't want to say that your MLS offers this, but I would say subdivision seems like a pretty common one that majority of MLSs would support. So you could build it around a subdivision track code in the case of this MLS. Hope that helps. So Debbie asked, how is Market Snapshot different than the report in Realtor.com? Debbie, there's a lot of similarities. As you know, we are a Realtor.com company, Top Producer is. And the one thing, the biggest difference is Market Snapshot works for your entire database. Everybody in your database, including past clients, Sphere, you know, not just your Realtor.com leads. That's the biggest difference. Greg says, thank you. We get with your CTX MLS and see if they can add it. Yeah, Greg, you might want to, you know, if you haven't, log into Top Producer X, try and send a Market Snapshot, click on the advanced and see if subdivision is there. If your MLS supports it, we should be able to support it. We're happy to help you with that. Great questions. What do you guys think about the upcoming changes? What kind of feedback? We'd love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear your feedback. You guys like the changes? What other questions does everyone have related to Top Producer? This is open forum now, so you know I've gone through and talked about what's coming. This is your chance to ask me questions. And just while you guys, if you guys have any questions, a couple things I just want to remind you. You know, a lot of these changes, you know, a lot of our changes are based on your feedback. Like I can't stress enough how important your feedback is, good and bad. So just a reminder, feedback, you can just click this feedback button. You guys can type in here, give us a rating. We do read, I want to really stress the importance of this, we read every piece of feedback. It's reviewed by our leadership team and it's really important. So I can't stress that enough. All right, there's lots of good questions. So Debbie asked, how about adding a column for most recent contact worked on? So Debbie, we do have a column for most recently updated, I guess touched. So I'm just going to go to all my contacts here. So there is a column that you can sort by last touched. I'm guessing maybe your question is related to most recent contact, maybe updated. Would that be correct, Debbie? Correct me if I'm wrong. So you can sort by. Oh, all right, so I'm reading your guys' questions here. Sorry if I'm looking down. So Debbie says, I work on a contact, then close it, and I have to search again for the most recent contact I was working on. And the preference of what the buyer is looking for needs to be more detailed. That's good feedback, Debbie. I think so. What you're asking for is a little bit different. You're looking for a column of like basically recent contacts that you've worked on, done something with, which is different than recent contacts followed up. Gary asks, where do the contact pictures come from? Gary, the contact pictures come from social media. So as part of our social media integration, we do an auto profile of all the contacts in your database, and if we can match their email address to a social media profile, and there's a photo on that social media profile, it will pull in automatically. So that's where those come from. Letitia asked, will this video be saved? If so, could I get a copy of it? Letitia, this video is recorded and it will be available for on demand on our Facebook page. So you can come back anywhere on our Facebook page and watch the recording. Andrea mentioned feedback is texting. Don't like that you have to go back and forth from laptop to phone. That's good feedback, Andrea. Thank you for that. I'll make sure that gets escalated. See if there's anything that we can do about that. Debbie mentioned each time you have to re-click that column. Yeah, I think, Debbie, are you talking about this one, the last touch column? You get it to resort? Okay. It's good feedback. Listings, listing sales. Yes. So Debbie says listing sales. Yeah, that's coming soon. That is probably going to follow. I don't know exactly where it is in the sequence, but Debbie, it is something that's being actively worked on right now, is the property section of Top Producer X. So definitely something that is actively being worked on right now. So stay tuned on that one. Yeah, thanks, Debbie. I noted that one. I'll make sure our team is aware of it. Hey, maybe I'll ask you a question, and this is open to you guys. If this column was, what should the default be? Should it be sorted by the most recent or the oldest? How would you want to look at it? So the most recently followed up? Yeah, no, Debbie, I do get your feedback for sure. Okay, good stuff. Great questions. What else can I answer for you guys today? Yeah, so Dominic asked properties linked to contacts. So a couple of things. If you have transactions that you've created inside of Top Producer Classic, those properties have not yet ported over, or those transactions have not yet ported over to Top Producer X. That is something that, as I just mentioned, we're actively working on. So the one thing we did add into Top Producer X is a new feature, which is called Property Insights, where you can add any properties that your buyer, so it basically helps you manage the buyer journey, where you can add any properties that your buyers inquired on, properties that you've shown them, properties that they're interested in. You can add these directly from your MLS, where you can keep a log of basically all the properties that are related to that client's journey. So that's something new in Top Producer X. But if you're asking specifically about transactions that you might have, I'm assuming, I don't want to assume, but I'm going to take a guess that maybe you're talking about properties that you've created inside of the Top Producer Classic that are not in the new version yet. So Dominic, you can confirm if that's what your question's related to. Yeah, most recent. All right, thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Gary. I'm gonna go take a look at Debbie says, please add more fields in the buyer preferences: rental, sale price, price range, pets. Okay. You want this enhanced out a little bit more. Got it. Yeah, so just to reiterate what I was talking about, there's lots of questions related to properties in Top Producer X. So in Top Producer Classic, we have a listing and closing section where you can create essentially transactions. Those transactions have not ported over to Top Producer X yet. That is coming soon. Dominique asks, when will these updates be live? Dominique, they're on dev right now. So once they pass through the dev test, they'll go onto QA and then they'll go to production. I would say possibly, maybe Warren, if you're on, maybe you can let me know when you're expecting these to go live, but I'm going to say within the next next week or two, you'll see all these changes go live. I don't want to promise, so don't hold me to that one. But yeah, Debbie, really good feedback on the buyer preferences. I agree. Yeah, keep the questions coming. Keep the feedback coming. This is great. So helpful. I can't stress enough how great these Facebook Lives are when you guys have come with questions and feedback. It only helps us build a better, more valuable product for you. So I appreciate it, and so does our team. There you go. So Warren says, so Dominique, to answer your question with more live next week, these changes are going live next week. And you can hold Warren to that, not me. All right. I got time for a couple more questions if there is any. And if not, we can end today's session at the 30-minute mark. Let's see here. Andrew says, can you print a daily schedule report? I'm not sure you can. I'm trying to think how you might be able to do that, Andrea. Andrea, let me have someone follow up on that question. I don't know for sure if you can or not. And if you can't, we'll take that as feedback. All right, everyone. Looks like, let's see if I've missed any. All right, so look, a couple things just to wrap up. So just to confirm, these changes are going live next week. We're really excited about them. Just a couple reminders, keep hitting the feedback button and giving us your feedback. If you need help, there's so many different ways you can reach out to us. We're always here to help you. We want to help you. You can call us, you can email us, and now you can chat with us live in the product. Look, keep coming with ideas. I hope you guys get value out of these weekly sessions. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy, getting up and being able to go live on stream and show you guys all the exciting things that we're doing here. It's a really exciting time for you guys. And, again, I hope you guys get value out of these. Gary, if you're new to these, we run them every week. We try to run them every week at 10 a.m., every Wednesday, 10 a.m. There's a few, sometimes, probably 3 times a month. There's usually maybe 1 week a month where we may not run one, but as long as we have content to share with you guys, we typically run these. So we try to do these every week, Gary. And if you want to go back, again, all of these are recorded. They're available to you on demand. You can go back and watch all the previous ones as well. So thank you, everyone, for taking 30 minutes out of your day today. Hope you guys are excited about the changes that are coming to your Top Producer X very soon. And I wish everyone a great end to their week. Thank you.